Jaques chess sets. Here we have a selection, a starter collection really, of Jaques items. And what we're looking at is what the late Victorian gentleman of around 1890 might have had in the way of chess sets. So for home use or club use, he would have had a 3.5-inch chess set. Probably something like this. Now this is an unweighted, but very, very nice Jaques chess set. It is stamped on both kings, Jaques London, on the foot rim, which is sometimes fairly difficult to see. And on this one, it's just there, on top of the foot rim, and it's also stamped on the black king, which is a little easier to see, which puts this set around 1890. We've looked at the style of the knights and the cut on the bishop and the height of the crenellations on the rook, and it puts this set and the type of cross, there are all the different identifying things you can use. So it puts this rather nice Jaques Stoughton pattern 3.5-inch unweighted chess set at about 1890 or thereabouts, 1890, 1893, something like that. And this is what your typical late Victorian gentleman would be using either at home or in the club to play with this period. We've also included in the collection this book, which is based on Howard Staunton's book, The American Chess Player's Handbook. This is a little later, but it has some of Howard Staunton's games in, and it's an excellent little book. Also, this HAC clock for timing your games in good working order, and this clock is a HAC. It is not by Jaques, but Jaques certainly bought these in and badged them up as their own. So here we have it in a rather nicely made mahogany box. The lid is new, but nonetheless it fits very well. And this box is symmetrical at 2 because it's got the hand-cut dovetails on the corners. Rather nice box to suit the set. And came into the workshop in very good condition. Now just the knights had a bit of Jaques knight leprosy, I'm afraid. Sometimes go a bit funny looking on the varnish, but I've cleaned them up. But you can assume that basically any set of this age, which is in very good condition, as at some point it had some restoration, because these sets were made for play and they wouldn't have survived very long without getting some damage. Now that's fine if you're at home, or this board is a Williamsburg reproduction board. Goes very well with the set, but it's rather later, but it certainly sets the pieces off very nicely. Now if you're at home, that's fine. There's your chess set, there's your chess clock, there's your board. There's a reference book. What happens if you're on the train travelling to and from work? Well, you have two choices basically. Jaques offered this Washington style, so-called. This one has nice scoops so you can open it. It's got Jaques London there. Now we don't know if Jaques made these or whether they bought them in, but nonetheless they certainly badged them up. This is in good condition. It's just had a minor repair on this leaf, and there's the remains of what says made in London, made in England on that leaf. And these were again quite handy. Slip it in your pocket when it's closed up, and you can imagine the frock-coat gentleman there with the set in his pocket. And also they were designed in such a way that when you put the leaves down, the pieces stay in the position that they're in if you were starting a game. You could say, when you got to work you could close it up, take this into work with you. When you're on the train home, meet the same person. These people used to sit in the same seats in the same carriages, and you can resume the game. So that's one way of being able to keep the game position after you've left the game halfway through. The other way is one that Jaques resolved with their ISQs. Now these do come in a sleeve, but they're very difficult to find with the sleeve. They often get lost. And these sets, this one has the metal Jaques stamp plate on there, and Mr. Jim Joanno of the Chester Collectors Organisation has dated these to 1890 also. So these have a sprung plate inside the body, and it locks and releases the pieces. This brass pin has a little thing cut out there, and it locks in, so that you can, in fact, once you make sure both sides are locked, you can actually turn the boxes. So you would see that would also keep a game. You unlock it, play the moves, play a few moves. Train comes into the station, it's time to go. So then you lock them both up again, and you can close it up and take it into work with you and come out, and the game's ready to go again. All you've got to do is unlock it and play it. And this one also says in statu quo, which is what it was called, obviously, because it keeps the pieces in statu quo. Patent chessboard, and as I say, it says John Jaques and Son, Maker, London, on the little metal plate there. Very good condition. Really some marking and scuffing to the board, but that certainly would be one choice. These were a fairly expensive item when they were made. Jaques, I think, in fact, had to reduce the price at one point. But also, interestingly, these Whittington sets were made during the Second World War. They were made right up to and through during the Second World War. And Jaques were also employed to cut out in some of these. I've never seen one, but to cut out in some of these, and there were hidden a compass and various other items that a prisoner of war might find useful, and these were then boxed up with the other British Red Cross supplies and sent to prisoners of war, ostensibly as a chessboard, but then they would soon find the little sliding part with the secret compartments inside. If anybody knows of one, I'd be very interested, but as I say, I've never seen one. And these come in different sizes also, they come in a bigger size in this. So there we have it. HAC clock, not by Jaques, but they did sell them. A nice repro board. An American book which refers to Howard Staunton's game and is more or less a copy of his Howard Staunton's chess playing manual. And this beautiful 3.5-inch unweighted Jaques Chester in very good condition, and certainly it's got a very nice looking, well carved knight. I think it's certainly one of the better of the knights. Thank you.